guys, it's the Chaos Man Chow back at it again with our PokeMMO Nuzlocke. Where we left off, looks like we beat our rival, and we were working on getting Rat Arena and Flyboy leveled up. Of course, with the ultimate goal of boxing Flyboy at some point. Sorry about the audio drop off there, as I don't see it necessary to have two flyers on the team. So we really have no reason to stay down this way, so let's enter the forest. Since we are planning on boxing Flyboy, let's keep Rat Arena in the front for training purposes. Get at it. Come this way. We want to avoid trainers until we've leveled up a bit. As to be honest, at level 3, I don't know that Rat Arena can handle mons in the forest, so perhaps coming in here wasn't the best idea. Although if we keep getting a string shot spam, this should be a pretty easy KO for this fight at least. Sorry, I had to adjust a quick setting. I am far from professional as of right now, so I apologize for any discrepancies. Very nice. Over a full level for that one. Now we have quick attack, and we're going against a Metapod, which will actually be very nice for XP. If a level 6 Caterpie gave us over a full level, then I would say a level 7 Metapod should probably bump us up to 6. Which, if I recall correctly, gives Rat Arena access to... let me see... moves. Oh no, Focus Energy is 7. I probably won't be utilizing Focus Energy. I was thinking Bite was 7, but I was mistaken there. This is going to take a while though. Gotta love the harden spam. Buckle in, sit back, and enjoy the ride. I did make a little bit of an adjustment from our last stream, as I found the game audio wasn't a touch too high in my eyes. So please, let me adjust my audio there real quick. Okay. I should be able to be heard a little bit better now. So ultimately, the goal of this challenge is I've been scrolling through YouTube as of late and noticed either I'm oblivious or no one's even attempted this yet. So I more or less am doing this just to see that it can be done. Now how long this is going to take, that, I suppose, is fully dependent on my skill and a bit of RNG. Hope is that the first one is a non-issue, of course. Really, only took us to 5. Surprising. We'll be coming back in here once Rat Arena is around 7-ish. And we'll be taking on these trainers for extra XP. Okay, this one shouldn't be quite as annoying, because they can't harden spam. The big things they can actually hit back. But it seems like the AI just wants to do a whole bunch of, like, stat reductions, which I'm okay with. Makes for a safe early run. Semi-safe. You know, I've got a potion in the bag, right? Yeah, I do. Let's just go ahead and give this trainer here a challenge. See how it goes, because there's no sense in doubling back if we don't have to. And what I can always do is I can just swap into one of my higher level mons if they give us issues. Level 6 Weedle. So the level 7 Wild Caterpie didn't give us any trouble. This one does get stabbed with Poison Sting, though. With, of course, the potential to do that. Poison will definitely be one of our bigger struggles early on. Just simply due to lack of access to money and antidotes. Which I'm actually now noticing I may have made a slight boo-boo because I did not get antidotes. I think I have 1. Okay, so here we need to make a swap. Send out Flyboy. Gus should make quick work of this Caterpie, and then we're actually going to head back to Viridian because we need to pick up some potions and such. Also, we'll top up our Pokeballs while we're there. Very nice, very nice. So, let's do a quick double back. Because while I would love for this to be a speed run for the stream, I want to prioritize actually being able to complete the challenge. And if we lose all of our mons early on, it would be kind of embarrassing. Once we get some consistent viewers up in here, I would actually love to get the chat's input on what I should do in certain scenarios. I am fully in for taking chat's advice. We will not be using repels at any point, just simply due to the fact that XP will be a necessity. Being overleveled will kind of be a must. But I think... nah, let's just sell it. Get the extra money out of it. Antidotes. And then I'll spend the rest of it on getting an extra potion. Cool. So now I've got a decent amount of antidotes. I've got few more balls. I don't think we'll have another opportunity to catch a Pokemon until after Brock. So this is our Brock team. My hope going into the next route after Brock, I cannot remember which route that is though. But anywho, my hope going into that route is definitely to snag a Mankey since we missed it in the route back there. Because while we won't be able to use Mankey to sweep Brock, Primeape is a very, very nice pick for the Elite Four. Pretty much decimates. Can't remember their name now. Lorelei. Also, the beauty of the 40 badge run is between regions, we can actually carry over our Pokemon from the prior region. So, in theory, each region should be slightly easier than the last, just due to having a wider selection. Now, of course, that is in theory. Oh, sand attack, you're not my friend. I'm gonna give this one more attempt. Cool. And of course, as I'll show you guys once we beat Brock, there is a level cap that changes based off of how many gyms you've completed in that region. So, you know, we wouldn't be able to get a full stack team of hundreds and just sweep through the entirety of the other regions. Level 6 Caterpie. We have Focus Energy now. Let me read what that does. Okay, so I would say it's probably not necessary in the long run. If the fights were longer, I would say the Focus Energy would 100% be worth it. But most of these mons are going down in 3 to 4 hits. So, at most, it would save me a turn, because I'm taking up 1 turn to use Focus Energy. So, and that's assuming the RNG boost is enough to actually cover the difference. The big reason why I'm focusing Ratarina first is because once we ding 10 with her, Flyboy should be an absolute breeze in the forest. Swapping out after 1 hit. I thought the AI was supposed to have been enhanced, but I supposed I was incorrect in that assumption. Kakuna. This is one where Focus Energy will come in handy. If he goes for those hardens. And there's the poison that we dread. Alright, I'm gonna go for one more quick attack and then swap out the Flyboy. Yep. And this is why we bought antidotes and potions. So otherwise we would have been running back to the Pokemart, or not the Pokemart, the Pokecenter again. Ratarina snagged a level 8 up. And Flyboy got a bump up to 7. So a really nice double ding. I think Gus should absolutely decimate Ladybug. Really? I was mistaken. I don't remember Ladybug being a tanky boy. Then again, I never did play around much with, I believe Ladybuzz Gen 2 in Origin. It's probably the generation I played the least. Okay, so, antidote first. Did we double pot here? I don't think we do. I think Flyboy should be fine. So there's another trainer to the north up here. I want to go ahead and challenge that. If I remember correctly, this one should have 4 Mons, 2 Caterpie, 2 Weedle. Oh no, it was changed. Squishy Boy, I believe. Relatively squishy boy. Quick attack spam should be fine. Apparently I've been out of the game for a minute. They made some updates, because I do not remember Spinarak ever having Absorb. Good chunk of XP from that takedown though. And back into quick attack spam. We are almost in the double dig with Ratarina, so very nice there. Not quite enough to bump us up to 9, but it's alright. Over here, I heard about these once we get into late game. If the chat would like, I can come back and do some raids. But of course, that's entirely dependent on you guys. We are running out of quick attack PP. Probably should swap to tackle for the time being. Got our Metapod here, so we're going to focus energy to get that extra crit chance. Because these wild Metapods are very annoying, because all they know is Harden. Can make these fights last for ages, as we found out earlier. Critical strike would be quite nice. There we go. So this guy should give about 60 some odd XP, 60, 70, somewhere in that range. So, yeah. Alright. One more level, and then Flyboy's taking the lead. I think we're fine to go into this. Potions are getting kind of thin. Opening up with a Metapod. As we found out last time, he doesn't, or the AI does not spam Harden with a trainer's Metapod. So, just want to burst this guy down. Swapped from Metapod to Metapod. Okay. Allowed us to get some free damage in, I guess. Okay, now here's where we gotta start being careful, because we're down to 8. Sorry, brain fart. Down to 8 HP. So... not cool. Alright, Flyboy. Your turn. easy wipe with Flyboy. Okay, now here we use a potion. Only one. We're not going to waste a whole potion for 2 health. Seems slightly unnecessary. If I do say so myself. And to be honest, this worked out kind of perfectly. Item here. Hopefully I didn't miss the one down below. I cannot remember if we grabbed that last time. Okay, so let's go ahead and get a wild encounter to get Red Arena the rest of the way up to 10. And then Flyboy can take out the trainer, which should be the push we need. Well, that speed drop means nothing because we are using quick attack. So, gets prio anyway. And there's Bite. This will be the move that we can actually use against Brock. Let's go ahead and take out Tail Whip, because that focus energy actually did give us a touch of utility. I didn't expect to get out of it, if I'm being honest. Alright, so Rat Arena, you can take second seat. Flyboy, I will... Oh, well. You would have been nice. Instead of free bug. But it's one of those things. So I definitely don't want to have Flyboy out in front. The only real option I've got as far as resistance here is swapping into Brute Root, which is fine because we want to get Brute Root up into, I believe, Brock's ace is 14. So we'll need to do a touch more training there. We don't have to have him right at that 14 spot, because the gym trainer's prior will also give a decent chunk of XP. And to be honest, Brute Root is probably the only one I'll be using in the gym. You know, probably just do a one-man sweep. And let's challenge this trainer and get out of this forest. Level 9 Weedle. Should be no match for like 2 to 3 gusts. Yeah. Ooh, Bug Bite. To any other Mon, that would hurt, because that's like a 90 power move by the time you factor in stab. And that gives us that lovely level 10. So now we swap Brute Root into the front. He'll be the one taking the rest of our encounters until we reach Brock. Because like I said, he will be a hard carry. Spamming that tackle because Vine Whip would do next to nothing since it takes half damage from it. It is nice that it's a Metapod though, because that nice extra chunk of XP we get from being a second stage evolution should be enough to push Brute Root into level 11. Defense won't go any higher, but since you don't have another move, you'll keep using it anyway. Because Game Freak did not think that far. Okay, so we are out of the forest. I thought about not doing the patch of grass prior to the forest and snagging one here, because I feel like after a bit of thought, I probably should have, because the encounters in that grassy patch are actually better. But it's one of those things. What's done is done. Let's go ahead and hit the mart, because we're going to need to grab a couple more potions for the gym, just in case. Bring us up to an even 5 potions. I don't think we'll need any of these other items. So we'll go ahead and just save our last 300 Poke Yen, so we can spend it on like bigger heals or bitter balls down the way. Because I would no, actually, I'm gonna need more balls. So whatever I get from the gym, I need to head to the mart and grab balls, because I want to say there are 3 potential encounters before we get to Misty, or before we get to the next Pokemon, rather. A Bullet Seed would be wonderful here, just to avoid the Sturdy proc, but it's one of them. One of them things. Rock Tomb actually hurts us a little bit. Hold up. Okay, this is mildly startling, actually. Let's, swap into Fred. Let him handle Sandslash. Or Sandshrew. Hopefully we can get a confusion proc. Okay, that's fine. We can just echoed voice for this. We might be in trouble here, guys. Swap into Ratarina. Perhaps the flinch procs off a bite. We are in big trouble here. Ratarina might go down. Alright, we swap into Flyboy. Come on, Gust. Do the damage we need. Rock Tomb hurts. Rock Tomb hurts. And our first death. Alright, Free Bug, you get one shot here. Should make this bug bite count. Okay, this is troublesome. Well, we just lost Flyboy and Freebug because I was underprepared. So, let's swap into Rat Arena. Quick Attack finishes this. That was not the way I wanted this episode to play out. Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and get rid of Growl. So, that is shame. I mean, bug types are pretty weak in this game, and I was planning on boxing Flyboy anyway, so if a sacrifice had to be made, those two were the better options. However, it is rather unfortunate that now we only have 3 Mons going into a gym leader battle, one which we really don't have type advantage. So, do they have stats that justify keeping them? That is a release on the Butterfree. Goodbye, Freebug. You didn't really do much. And what about Flyboy? Okay, not that much of a disappointment, actually. So, definitely not the desired outcome. Let's go into this patch of grass here, train up a little bit, get Brute Root. Honestly, let's get all 3 of them. Get Rat Arena to 12 and Fred to 12, and get Brute Root to 14. This way we've got a bit more bulk, because, like, we can't risk losing another 2 like that. And now you see the dangers of the run. Imagine if that were to have happened way later in the game for established team members. Would have been even more unpleasant. This first region is definitely going to be where the most challenge lies. That would have been a nice pickup. This first region is definitely, in my eyes at least, going to be where the most challenge lies. Just simply due to the fact that we won't have a stockpile of Mons at our disposal. Later on, individual deaths won't really affect the party too bad, because in the later regions and even later parts of Kanto, we should have quite a few in the box that we could swap in. They may not be ideal options, but options are options. Level 6 Nidoran female. See, this is what I mean. This patch of grass has quite a few good options. To be honest, my preference would have been to snag up one of the Nidoran line. They get double kick, which is an absolute carry for this first gym. Brute Root should be solid. Do you get access to... Okay, so you get access to Poison Powder and Sleep Powder at 14. The Sleep Powder may come in handy for Onyx. Gonna be completely honest here. Bellsprout. So, given the length of this run, the odds of us encountering a shiny Pokemon, I mean, they're still quite low, but with 5 regions we're going through consecutively, I would say there's a 1 in 5 chance of us encountering a shiny. Because if I recall correctly, for PokeMMO, they halved the normal shiny encounter rate, so that puts us at a 1 in 16,384. If my head math checks out, which, you know, knock on wood, usually does. The big concern we're running into with leveling in this patch of grass, though, is root. Well, really, none of us get anything. None of them get anything that really hits that hard with the mons that spawn here. Alright, so there's 13. One more level, and then we will swap into either Ratarina or Fred. Fred's not hardly gotten any love today. Almost got O-code earlier. Would have been, that one actually would have made me sad. Because Noctowl can come in clutch. Just due to his versatile move pool for a flying type. Plus, you know, he gives us fly. The big issue we'll run into, and we can kind of address that later on, is that since I went with Bulba over Squirtle, we don't have anyone for Surf. So we could, in theory, get soft locked, unless we want to have an HM drone for purely to use Surf, but like can't be used in battle type deal. Like, it'll be in my party just for Surf. In the event we send it out in battle, we must purposefully let it die, so as to not hinder the run. But that's assuming I don't have a water type I can teach Surf to. Same goes for any of the other HMs. If we don't have a mon that can learn it, then I am okay with using an HM slave until I catch a mon that can learn it. Let's keep at it. Ooh, nice. Critical. Should be. Wow. Where was that RNG during Sandshrew? Does anyone learn Bullet Seed this early on? Like, I know Brute Root can learn it via TM, but I don't think we learn it naturally any capacity. Let's see. Yeah, so just via TM, at least as far as while it's still a Bulbasaur. Perhaps once we become an Ivysaur or a Venusaur, Bullet Seed will become available, because it is a nice move given that it has that 100% accuracy plus stab. It can lead to some pretty crazy moments, and the fact that it can hit up to 5 times, we could basically, like, take out. With RNG being on our side, we could probably take out. Pardon me, I apologize. We could probably take out any Mon in one turn. Unless it's like resistant. And even then, like, we'd be taking it out in 2 to 3. Absolute max RNG, 5 hits, 5 crits. It's an absolute, like, force to be feared. Alright, and this puts us at 14 on Brute, so that should allow us to go toe-to-toe with Onyx. Sleep Powder will be utilized not only for battling. Do we keep Vine Whip? Or do we keep Razor Leaf and risk the low accuracy? I think we keep Razor Leaf for the increased power, plus it can hit multiple targets. We definitely want to keep Tackle for those mons that are resistant to grass, and Leech Seed can come in clutch. So we're not going to worry about picking up Poison Powder. Sleep is the better of the two statuses. At least for our purposes. Because I can sleep while it's seated. And it's basically passive healing while I chunk away at its health. Is it a cheap tactic? Mayhaps. But it gets the job done, and that's ultimately what matters. Some of the cries in this game are rather humorous. My apologies once again. Give me just a sec. I need to head to the Pokemon Center. And I will be back in like less than a minute. Sorry about that, guys. I am back. Just had to make sure everything was up and running, because my PC was, shall we say, acting strangely at best. Not bag. There we go. Let's get this baller rolling. Ooh, beautiful. A crit, but not a kill. Most interesting. Using that focus energy, and this is kind of why I don't care for focus energy, because say this was a trainer battle, I would have just, Radorita would have just died. I don't think it's worth taking a turn to slightly boost your crit chance, and the fact that it doesn't say a flat percentage, startling. I don't remember what it was in the original game, but it's definitely one of those things. You just don't want to risk it. That makes sense. Beautiful one-hit bite, leading to a ding. Does Radorita get anything at 12? Dang it, I really need to learn to navigate this on PC. I typically play the game on mobile, so... Okay, so nothing at 12. We do get something at 13, though. I don't know that we would ever use Pursuit, because... Like, with a IRL... Like, Pokemon battle, where you kind of, like, know your opponent, it's pretty easy to predict when they're going to swap. But with the AI in this game, you don't want to waste a move on a maybe, and Pursuit just doesn't hit that hard. Alright, well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just keep on spamming that bite until, of course, we're out of PP, and then we can swap to something different. Poison points. You are not my friend. We will not have to worry about that with Fred, because Fred does not use contact moves. Fairly certain that all of Fred's abilities are either special moves or non-contact moves, both of which are very nice given the circumstance of the ability. Which, for those of you who don't know, Poison Point is an ability that was added into the game, I believe, Generation 3, that made it so that whenever... Yeah, it's one of the first wave abilities. Anytime a Pokemon with said ability is struck in battle with a contact move, meaning a move that makes physical contact, I believe it's a 25% chance to apply poison, which could honestly be good in some circumstances, because when you're poisoned, you can't be put to sleep or burned. And poison is very much a slow burn, so I suppose it is probably... Paralysis is a big one, because it has all the downsides of sleep, making you unable to move the majority of the time, without the positive of being able to, you know, come out of it. As long as we keep one-shotting, the poison won't make any difference. Let me actually look real quick. Is Bite actually the most powerful move we have? Because 60 base power, no stab, versus 40 base power with stab. So it is exactly equal between Bite and Quick Attack. So Bite is slightly better due to the flinch chance. Bellsprout. So my thoughts, and please feel free to let me know otherwise if you feel a different way, are when it comes to the route coming up directly after Brock, we could get Amon out of the grass. That is an option. However, I'll have to double check it before I actually try to catch anything. But if I am not mistaken, then the Magikarp that you can buy off of the guy in the Pokemon Center would count as an encounter on that route. And I would much rather have the Magikarp than have pretty much anything on that route, except for maybe a Mankey. Alright, and we're going into Fred for the last piece of training. And then we're going to give Brock an attempt. This could be the end of the run right here, which is scary to think about. But what we don't want to do is spend a whole stream just leveling. Confusion, although the base power on Peck is slightly higher with Stab, Confusion gets a better power stat. Well, maybe not. Peck may be a slightly better ability given his stats. Not for this one though. For this one, it is Confusion. Well, actually, Echoed Voice is the best one because it gets Stab on top of everything. But when it's super effective, you can't beat Confusion. You know, if you have access to a super effective move, you should definitely use it unless it's like, you know, Poison Sting on a grass type. Because even when it is super effective, Poison Sting only does like 3 damage. It's kind of saddening. But it's because Poison Sting's primary point is not to do damage, it is to apply the poison. That's why as soon as you get Poison Powder, you should be looking to replace. So, yeah, Echoed Voice is definitely the way to go. And of course, each mon that you face does have different stats of their own that affect it. But the building damage from Echoed Voice definitely does help. And I believe that said Echoed Voice is 50 base power. That on top of stab makes it a 75 power ability with the building damage the more you cast it. Or the more you use it, rather. So yeah, I see you tune into the stream. Feel free to talk in chat. Let me know your thoughts. If you see anything you want me to change or any of the sort. Do not bite. I am more than happy to respond to your messages. Okay, so we are definitely going to hit the Poke Center. I do not want to risk losing Fred to a training montage. That would be... yikes. It's bad enough we lost Flyboy and Freebug to a gym trainer, not even a gym leader. But there are definitely worse outcomes that could have been. So... I mean, y'all saw the way it went. It could have been a full wipe. I was apparently not prepared at all. But, like I said, I'm used to, this is probably one of our worst RNG runs as far as, the first 5. Well, 4, because Bulbasaur is one we picked. Because I'm used to having either a Mankey or a Nidoran at this point. Which I have access to neither. Even a Pikachu would have helped because they have double kick, and Pikachu has a surprisingly high physical attack stat. For a Mon that was like a core electric Pokemon, which for the longest time was a purely special attacking, you know, type. But, you know, what's done is done. That just means that later on in the run, I could get access to a higher level Pikachu and not have to worry about the low level training where all I has is Thunderbolt. Or Thunder Shock, or whatever the first tier is. Did just cross that 1 hour mark, so it's been an eventful hour, shall we say. If this picks up, I would love to make a full like streaming schedule of it, where we come in for 2 to 3 hours at a set time. So if you'd like to see a full full-on like series made of this. You know, leave that like, share, and of course subscribe so you can get notified of when we're going live. You know, if we start to pick up pretty heavily, I can definitely create a Discord page. And I'm more than happy to get the community involved. But I suppose that all hinges on my dedication and you guys' want. Do you want to see more of this? Leave that comment down below, let me know. Or if you're tuning in live, let me know in the live chat. I am not opposed to suggestions. This is, you know, if the majority wants me to do something else, I can absolutely put this on the back burner. You know, at the end of the day, this is just something I did to put myself out there, get out of my comfort zone. Because I've been wanting to do something like this for ages and haven't worked up the confidence. Lovely, I found an antidote. Save us from having to head back to the Pokemon Center in the event of another poison point. So very nice. Let's peck. Come on, we're almost there. Depending on what we end up getting. Wait, why did I not go into the forest? I'm gonna... Every mon in the forest except for Pikachu I have full, like, at least one super effective move for on Fred. I mean, it's pretty much done now, but... When did Fred get tackle? Has Fred always had tackle and I've just been blind? Or did he literally get that through leveling? Huh. Interesting. Alright. Let's head into the forest for this last level. Who knows, we might, oops. Might find something interesting in the forest. Shiny Pico would be interesting. Since when could Pidgey spawn in the forest? I mean, it's fine. Should still be no issue. Especially since it's a sleep turn one. Owie. Alright. One more encounter and we should be good. Weedle? That is totally fine. We're still faster. Alright, Fred. Let's learn Reflect. Which one is Reflect again? From physical attacks? I can replace Tackle with that. So I feel like that could come in handy for moves down the way. Okay, so let's hit that Pokemon Center, get healed up, and hopefully we can get Brock down without a hitch. The annoying part of the training montage will most definitely be the Magikarp, because I am for sure getting Magikarp whether I can catch something else in the grass or not. Alright, Brute Root, you're leading the charge. Hopefully, this goes a lot smoother than the battle that took place prior. Geodude should pose no threat, especially if I can get that sleep off. Beautiful. I can't remember. Does Geodude have... I think... Yeah, both Geodude and... Never mind. Geodude and Onix both have Sturdy. Yeah. Super effective and crit. That should definitely, like, negate the effect. Ooh. That crit hurts, though. I think if Leech Seed works the way I think it does, even if this crits, we should be fine. Hopefully this carries on to Onix. So if I remember correctly, Leech Seed does not affect the specific Pokemon. It affects their side of the field. Let me... Potion up. Hopefully Brock goes for Abide. No, okay. Okay, that's actually not that big a deal. So let's go for... And I was mistaken on the way that Leech Seed works, so that's upsetting. Okay, so we're going for a Sleep Powder, and then Leech Seed. Because with the amount of health this Onix has, plus that Leech Seed should get us around Sturdy, because it took the first hit. Okay, Onix woke up, it's gonna use a Rock Tomb. We should be fine here. And I was actually mistaken on the level of his ace. Ooh, beautiful crit. And that is all she wrote. Okay. Rock Tomb. Hopefully we can snag a Geodude from the cave. Zubat would kind of be a letdown. I'm a huge fan of Crobat, but we need something with bulk. Desperately. Trying to remember. I think Misty's ace is her Starmie, which sits at a whopping... I need to top up on potions before I go too far. So we got 1600 here. Let's bring ourselves up to an even 5 on potions. Antidotes were good there. I want to say there's nothing that can put us to sleep. Except for Paris, but Brute's immune to that. So the rest of our money can go into balls. Except I like round numbers, so let's just bring this up to an even 10. That should be fine. And then Rock Tomb. Yeah. Just need to hope for either a Geodude or an Onix in that cave. Should be the no-brainer choice as far as who to give Rock Tomb to. Yes, get the heck out. So let's lead the charge with Brute Root until it evolves into an Ivysaur, and then we can swap. May actually want to swap sooner. I don't think we want to... Well, let's see how hard Tackle hits. And how hard Gust hits. Oh. Yeah, no problem. Even if that crits, we're only looking at 12 damage. Which, for the sheer amount of health that our Brute Root has, that's none. And tackle. That should bring us up pretty close to, yeah, pretty close to the halfway point. Drop a quick potion. And let's go ahead and swap out to Hoot Hoot for this one, just because the bug types, or Fred, rather, really need to get into the habit of using their names. Man, I missed an opportunity there, actually. Naming Hoot Hoot Fred, I definitely could have I definitely should have called Pidgey George. But live and learn. When does Hoot Hoot become a Noctowl again? I love how we get access to the Pokedex during battle. Okay, so actually both Fred and Ratarina evolve at level 20. So we'll call that our next level goal before we allow ourselves to challenge the next gym. Probably should have went for the confusion there. But it is what it is. Go ahead and use confusion now. Yeah, because to have a Noctowl and Eradicate prior to Misty, I feel is the move. Okay, now I'll swap Brute Root back to the front, because this guy has, he likes shorts. They're delightfully comfy and easy to wear. Youngster Ben with his Ekans? How hard does a tackle hit? This is a sleeper. Never mind. I'm not wasting 2 turns to try to put sleep out. We may end up having to swap Mons, actually, because this Ekans hurts. I am sorry for making fun of your shorts. They are indeed delightfully comfy and easy to wear. Quick attack. Awesome. Okay. And that brings us into an evolution page, or evolution screen. Which helps our bulk significantly, because evolutions early on in this game are massive. I think given that we're so close to the Pokemon Center, I don't think we waste a potion here. fact, let's, while we're here, go ahead and buy a potion from the mart. Just to replenish the one that we used. And we are running. So we got another bug catcher. Let's swap Fred into the front. And then we'll head down and grab this guy. Should be an easy 1, 2, 3, 4 for Fred here. Yeah, that just goes to show how hard Bug Bite hits. So it was not very effective. It did crit though. Okay, so being a Metapod. Okay, never mind. I thought for sure it was going to try to harden. So this should actually give a good chunk of XP because it's a second stage evolution at level 9. Probably looking at about 130, 140. Yeah. And then here, we use Confusion to get use out of our higher special attack stat, as well as the fact that it is double effectiveness. That and Confusion gets completely around Kakuna's high defense rating. And then to finish it off, to avoid wasting PP, we'll go for a peck. What do you have? Let's go in with Fred at the front line and we can swap out if need be. Hey, you're not wearing shorts. Spearow. Okay, so we got Beard on Beard. Level 14 Spearow, so we're actually slightly over or under leveled for this. It's awesome. So they missed that Fury attack. Let's go for the Echoed Voice spam. That building damage should be pretty nice. Ouch. Okay. I think the play here is swapping out to Ratarina. She could take a hit, and then Quick Attack should finish this. You, my good sir, hit like a daggum truck. This is a back to the Poke Center type moment because money is still limited at this point. So I need to remember to avoid tall grass as well, because at this point, running into the tall grass without knowing the rule on the Magikarp could lead to a wasted encounter. Which would mean no carp. So avoid grass if possible. I believe you have a grass type. Oh, nope, Rattata. Level 10 Rattata and something else. So one thing that I definitely think would be an interesting thing to implement into the game. You see a lot of trainers talking about how they're, training their Pokemon, or they just caught their Pokemon, and they're in the tall grass. So one thing that I think would be really cool would be like encounters where they'll send out their Pokemon and it's not at full HP because it's been training or they just caught it. I feel like that could lead to some really interesting encounters, but so that would give them an excuse to actually put some Pokemon at some unnecessarily high levels into the game from trainers, but at the cost of, they don't have full health. Let's go ahead and use a potion on Fred. So, say in this zone here, things are in the high single digits or lower double digits. We could have one pop out at, say, 18, but it starts the fight at half HP. I think that would be a really cool mechanic to throw in. Maybe if someone from Game Freak hears this, they could throw it into a future installment. Odds of someone they're listening in are slim to none, but hey, you never know. Doesn't happen till it happens. Going in for that peck spam. Bringing down the Caterpie. Okay, avoid the grass, but grab the trainer. I should have swapped because she has a scary one. Jigglypuff does not look scary, but my goodness is this thing a tank. It can take hits, and it can dish them out even harder. Echoed Voice is the way to go. Because I want to say Jigglypuff... Oh. Oh my. Okay. Help. Now look how much health this does. To a second stage Pokemon, 2 levels above it, and it does about 10 health. So I mean, that doesn't really sound scary when you put it like that, but look at how much, or how little. Okay, maybe I remember this thing being scarier than what it actually is. But, it's better to be safe than sorry. I think that was the last trainer encounter before the Pokemon Center. So I think this is just someone you can talk to. Yeah. So right here is Route 3. And here is Route 4. Okay, so we can indeed get the Magikarp as well as... So we can actually get a full party here, even though we lost 2. Because we can get the Carp, which we absolutely want. How do we do? Relaxed nature. Okay, probably one of the worst natures you could have for a Gyarados. Stat-wise. Okay. Solid stats across the board. A little low on the HP side, but everything else is 20 plus. So I will take it. And I would say a lot of you watching will know where this name comes from. Any who don't, absolutely feel free to ask. I will answer. If no one asks, I won't mention it. But now we have Carpiana the Magikarp. I will put her at the front so that we can do swap training for her. And so now that we know Route 3, let me double check. Yeah, we're good, we're good. So this grass right here, I believe, is the one that we want to do it in. And let's go. Let's go. Easy money. So now we went from having some pretty rough RNG from our last set to actually getting a decent selection. Brute Root will still kind of have to be our hard carry for Misty, but that is a non-issue. Well, let's not celebrate too hard until we actually catch the thing, because it is very well possible that we could accidentally kill it. So let's start with just a sleep, see how that does. Okay, popped right out. Dangerous play, but let's leech seed it. That gives us 5 turns, I believe, to catch it. No, leech seed takes 10%, right? Or does it vary? It's not going to tell me percent. Okay, let's chuck another ball. Now that's lost a chunk of health. Big thing, I don't want to waste balls while we wait for it to whittle down. Okay, that's fine. That actually gives us an excuse to not throw a ball this turn, because what I don't want to do is I don't want to hit it with one of our attacking moves and end up killing it, because this is one that I want on the team for endgame. Okay, down to 3/4 health and is asleep. There we go, there's our Mankey. The man didn't hit too hard though, which is a little saddening. Got a bold nature, that explains why. And stat-wise, ooh, let's go. Perfect physical attack stat. Doesn't really affect much in the early game, but later on, that will be a game changer. The rest of his stats were pretty rough, but that's okay. Another beauty of swap training is Intimidate goes off, and then we just swap out anyway. So one big struggle of a Nuzlocke, by the way, is that typically once we get to a certain point in the game, we will get this item called EXP share. But to acquire it in Kanto, you are required to have met a certain number of individual Pokemon species. Not met, but actually caught. And that's just not something that's really possible in a Nuzlocke scenario. So we won't actually get access to an EXP share until we reach another region, unless we want to double back once we get through, I believe, Sabrina's gym. We will have reached the correct number. Okay, and we're going into the cave. Give me something good. Water gun. I wish I could just teach that to Carpiana right now. That way I wouldn't have to swap train. Or maybe I can. I know some changes have been made. No, but for whatever reason I can teach it to Ratarina. Rock Tomb is actually very tempting to teach to Mankey, but let's see what we end up with in the cave. Paralyze heal. Let's actually, yeah, swap out to Hoot Hoot in the front so we can get Keen-Eyed. Beautiful, in the words of the wonderful Jim Carrey. Onyx is a great choice. While its physical attack stat is a bit lower, he's fast, he's bulky, and he's a rock type. So, swap into Brute Root, and Sleep Powder. Now this one we actually can whittle down with tackles. So we can actually hit this one. Still want to be careful though. Let's see what one tackle does. Okay, not bad. Let's say 3 tackles, and then we can start chucking balls. Pokeballs. For those who don't know, unless I am mistaken, which is very well possible, once a Mon reaches 50% HP, lowering its health any further does not affect the catch rate anymore. The only other ways to lower the catch rate, or raise the catch rate rather, is by applying a status effect. That's why I kept Sleep Powder over Poison Powder, because sleep is the best way to lower that that miss rate. And there we go. We now have a full team, and honestly, pretty decent type spread. Nice. Upped physical attack. Lowers our physical defense, which is not terrible. Ooh. Ooh. Stats. Let's see what we're looking at for types, or for not types, moves. That's big. That's big. Protects the Pokemon from recoil damage, and it has Stealth Rocks. So if you survive to late game, which, to be honest, this team, I'll probably want to swap out Raticate, since we're going to have a Primeape. And then I'll want to swap Fred out for probably an Aerodactyl. I don't know. Of the 3 fossils, it's definitely between Aerodactyl or Kabutops for me. I just don't feel Omanite has enough utility to bring to the table. But that's okay. So I think play here. I don't want to rush through the cave. Not yet. So honestly, I think the play here. You know what? Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay, Clefairy I think is the only one you have. Yeah, level 14 Clefairy. Maybe this is the one that was scary. I really wish I could remember. So I want to get Brute Root up to 20. At 20, I want to say we get some nice moves. I was looking at something. We get Seed Bomb, which is massive. Absolutely massive. Razor Leaf, because I think Clefairy is especially bulky, but physically not that much so. That razor leaf not having 100% accuracy is definitely going to get under my skin. Because yes, it's still 95%, but it's, you know, the fact that it can miss can make it rather annoying. Oh, yes. Rock Tomb. We have not given Mankey or Onyx a name yet. Very unoriginal. But I've named every Mankey I've ever caught this, so. And then Onyx. As an homage to the anime, just like with Brute Root. And she's a lady. It only makes sense. Call you Crystal. So you'll actually be a wonderful candidate for Dig later on as well. Base stats, really hefty physical defense, pretty solid speed. The rest of the stats are a little rough, but we have a really nice tank on our hands now. Could you perhaps explain to me why every time I swap out, it's using Smackdown? Like, Carpiana's not a flying type. It will be once it evolves. But let's go ahead and hit the Pokemon Center. And I'm gonna hit this trainer up over here. This one will be a little bit harder to swap train because they have more than one Pokemon. And Carpiana does not have tackle yet. So we just need to hope they don't swap so we don't lose that bonus XP. Honestly, I could have put Crystal in. Probably should have put Crystal in. Oh, easy one-hit KO. Defog, that's the one that clears status effects, right? Oh, no. I don't think that's that big a deal, though. So we can let that one go. Psycho Shift. I think swapping this out with Reflect could be rather beneficial. Because, like, say we get a Poison or Sleep. Well, no, Sleep wouldn't work. But Poison, Paralysis, anything like that, we could pull in a new reverse card on them. Let's go ahead and swap to Carpiana. I don't think Kakuna can one-shot, not at 20 HP. It just doesn't have that kind of power. And then from here, we'll be spreading the XP kind of thin, but I do want to get Crystal a bit of training. thought Bug was, huh. So, Rock Throw is actually a pretty bad move. 10% chance to miss. I see why it was using Smackdown now. Okay, so... Okay, and we are swapping back to Fred now. Because I am not trying to lose Crystal before we even get the chance to use her. Paris would have been an interesting pickup. Okay, and we'll swap Fred in to take this one out. Ooh, Stun Spore. Okay, just because I want to know. Okay, so Psycho Shift can still be paralyzed out. Good to know. I didn't know if it, like, took priority over the paralysis check or not. So it was one of those I needed to know type deals. Zubat wouldn't have been a bad pickup, but I am very happy with what we wound up with. Gotta love normal types immunity to ghosts. Alright, so we're actually making pretty decent process in the way of leveling Carpiana here. Alright, let's get this cave explored. So I believe we do a full exploration. I definitely should have kept that repel. I think we do a full exploration so that we can get every item possible. I think we're fine to attack the Rocket Grunt. Swap out to Crystal. Because Crystal should have no problem taking out this Zubat. As long as we don't hear ourselves in confusion. Well, that's not ideal. So, swap out to Rat Arena for the finish. And I do not have anything to wake it up with. Like, I don't have an awakening with me or anything. So I guess Crystal's gonna be taking a bit of a nap. Silk Scarf. What's that item do again? Okay. I believe we definitely give that to Fred. Nice. This is the very reason why I went with Razor Leaf over Vine Whip, even though I know that it has the lowered accuracy because it will hit all three of them. Yeah, it's probably gonna proc 3 sturdies. Oh no. One of them did not have sturdy. So this will be a nice 100 XP for Carpiana. Oh no. Did that actually just happen? Okay. Alright, slight change of attitude. Did that really just happen? Okay, we are playing it safe. And getting the heck out of this cave. Well, we're already here. Let's challenge the Rocket Grunt because Fred was what I was going to use to sweep this one anyway. And that is the risk you take when running a Nuzlocke, I suppose. I truthfully did not expect a bide to do that kind of damage. Like, I knew bide was a dangerous ability. Bruder got absolutely decimated. Zen Headbutt, nice physical move. I want to say gets priority as well. No. Zen Headbutt is the Psychic Fairy and a Bite. So let's just go ahead and clear out Psycho Shift. Zen Headbutt has a pretty solid base power, but I still don't want to take away a stab move for it. So, yeah. Without further ado, let's get the heck out of Dodge. I think on that note, let's not release Brute Root. So, let's store our Fallen instead of outright releasing them. Let's store them in box 11. Call box 11 our graveyard. It's unfortunate for Flyboy or Freebug who got released, but I will try to remember them. But I think on that note, that's the universe's way of telling me that it is time to call it here. So, yeah. You guys know the drill. Leave a like, comment, let me know what you want to see out of me next time. Of course, subscribe and share it on the socials. It's a nice chat with you beautiful guys and gals. Peace.